Annyeonghaseyo, hi everyone, this is Ariel, one half of Soju for Two, and this is a tip video for you guys about bathrooms in Korea. So I've had a ton of questions about like living life here and just sort of everyday things, and this I think is one of the most practical ones that I really think I should make for you guys. If you're coming here, if you're going to be staying here for any length of time, it's important to know. A lot of these things are like, helpful hints, but a couple funny things that have happened to me. So the first thing I want to say about Korean bathrooms that's slightly different is toilet paper situation. There will be a lot of times there won't be toilet paper, so bring toilet paper with you. Number one, Girl Scout tip. Number two is that there's like a lot of times communal toilet paper, so basically there's like a big giant roll outside of all the stalls, so grab that before you go into the stall, something that doesn't usually happen in America, so keep that in mind. Another thing, there isn't always soap in bathrooms in Korea, so definitely bring hand soap with you. Like hand sanitizer or at least something like that would be super, super useful. Always have it in your bag. And then another thing, so toilets in Korea, there's two types of toilets. There's Western style toilet, which we're used to, and there's also sort of like the sit-down squatter version one. You could definitely use both. I mean, if you've never used one before, don't be scared of it. You'll be able to use it. But just because they have those, they're like lower obviously, so the stall door goes lower so people don't like look under to see if there's feet. People knock. So if you hear knock, you're supposed to knock back. You don't have to say like, oh, I'm in here or something like that. You just knock back. Other things, oh yeah, so Korean bathrooms are usually like crowded with girls who are like doing full faces of makeup. And so I guess mirror etiquette is one of those things here that like I've had to navigate. I'm the kind of person, I grew up with a twin sister, so we were always stuck in a mirror together doing our makeup, whatever we're doing. Korean girls, for whatever reason, do not like to share mirror space. They prefer like competing for it. So yeah, that's a little bit tricky. So get into a mirror quickly, and then you'll be able to have space if you need to use one. So the last two things are just sort of funny things that have happened to me. So number one, really funny thing. This is like a fear I have. I don't even know why I have this fear, but I constantly am afraid I'm going to walk into the men's bathroom. And this didn't happen to me in America. It's totally a Korea thing. And I think what it is, it doesn't matter where you go. Like if you're in the subway or in a club or a bar or something, instead of having doors, and I mean some places obviously have doors like regular bathrooms, but instead of having doors, sometimes they're like actually just like tunnels you go into and then it diverges. So like this is the men's, this is the women's. And usually you can't see the sign that says men or women until you like get to the outside of the doors. And so I'm just perpetually afraid I'm going to walk into the wrong one. This was validated like 2 weeks ago when I was in Daejeon. I was at a club and I was going into the bathroom, not inebriated. I just walked into the men's room because I thought I was walking into the women's room, but all of a sudden there's this guy there. I'm like, slowly back away. And that I realized that what happened was that they had, instead of having like the lady or the man like picture, they had the symbol, and for some reason the men's symbol was in pink. So I didn't even really look at the symbol. I just saw the pink color and went towards the pink, and it ended up me walking into the men's room. So that's kind of funny to me. And then the last thing that happened, and this is one of those things that like I can't understand. Like everything else I can just kind of understand as part of the culture. But this one just really, I don't understand it. I'll explain it to you. And I should preface this with, I've been living in Korea for like over 10 months. I know it pretty well. And I would say that for the most part, Korean culture is pretty shy, when you're in public places. So whatever people do at clubs and things like that is different. But like so the idea of seeing like a man naked does seem like a pretty scandalous thing here, right? But apparently not in bathrooms. So I've experienced this many times at like noraebang, which is like karaoke, and then other sort of smaller restaurants and things. What they'll have is they'll have a stall and then a sink. So basically 2 people could be in the bathroom at the same time because one person could be at the stall, one person could be at the sink, like waiting. But then there's a urinal, and the urinal's not in a stall. And so what makes me laugh about this is like, if they just put a stall around that urinal, no problem. I don't mind if there's a guy peeing there next to me. I can handle that. But when a guy's standing there peeing and there's no stall, it's like, whoa, I just walked in on him peeing. And that's totally okay. So it's just one of those things that like kind of shocking to me. And then I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to back out here. So that's one of those things that's culturally, it's definitely a bit shocking for me. I don't know why it's like that. Like, I can understand if it's like for children, then no big deal, obviously, but it's never children using it than when I've seen it. So, and like Norvang and stuff, it's not for kids. Usually in like the women's restrooms, there'll be like a urinal that's for like, you know, little boys, who are with their moms and stuff, which totally makes sense, but this is not that case. So I don't know why it happens. If you have a reason, please tell me about it. But yeah, so that's just the reality of certain bathrooms in Korea. So I hope these things help you. Just my tips if you're traveling in Korea or living here: always have toilet paper, always have hand sanitizer, and you'll be good. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys.